still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on the ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share is we tarry there, and earth has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of His voice, so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing. And He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none has ever known.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming today to the People's Church of Divine Prophecy. Wonderful Sunday morning. Greatest time of the year to be in Florida. Thank you for choosing a little bit of that time to spend here with us. Just open your minds and hearts to hope, happiness, and joy, because that's what we try to produce here. Enjoy having your add-ins. Please silence your cell phones unless you're medical or law enforcement personnel. The restrooms are down the hall, quick right, quick left. There's hot drinks and donuts in the back, cold drinks in the fridge. Just help yourself at any time during the service to any of those. Reverend Steve Adkins, I'm the pastor of the church. I welcome you all. I'd like to have Amy light 3 candles symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit to start the service. It took me about 2 years to finally remember to announce that. Just had when I first added that in, I kept forgetting it.
We're all here, we're just waiting.
We always have a joke, which candle doesn't want to light is lacking today, and that's spirit there. So we're going to have to work hard to make that happen, so let's pump it up. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the first hymn. Dear Father God, we give thanks for this moment to dedicate our minds, hearts, and beings to connecting to your love and hope here personally for us. And we'd be able to relax our minds, let go of all that brought us here and all that's waiting for us when we leave, and be here in this moment of true connection to your presence and your peace in our lives. Amen.
Amen.
The next portion is the thought for the day from the pastor. This is where I think about something that occurred in my life in this past week and how I dealt with it through a spiritual principle that I've been taught and I'm trying to bring into practice in real life. Because that's the key, isn't it? Amen. Learning it, believing it in a crowd of like-minded people and going out into the world trying to make it work there. That's definitely the challenge. And I really met that head on the last few days. I had there's been a house across the street from me vacant for about 2 years, and a bunch of investors bought it. and they're fixing it up, and this guy decides there's a common road between my house, his house, and the house behind us. And he's decided that he's going to survey that and decide whether he's going to block that road or not. So when I looked at my survey, part of the road's mine, part of the road's his, and it's going to disadvantage him as much as me, more so him than me. So, but I got really upset when he said it, and on top of other things that were happening to me, I had some personal relationship issues that happened of a pretty strong nature. It seems to me like when everything that happens, it all happens at once to me. It's not one little thing here, one little thing there. It's like a tidal wave falling on your head. Of course, if it didn't do that, I wouldn't pay attention to it. I'd just ignore it in the nature of who I am. So, I was really upset when it first happened, and along with the other things. And, in today's world, there's probably not a household in existence that doesn't have some kind of anxiety drugs or antidepressants in it from some previous incarnation, whatever it is. And, we're all tempted to take the easy road out. Take the easy road out. My experience, when they prescribed those anxiety medications for me, it was about 5 years ago, and I took them, and it was like putting a lid on a boiling pot without turning the heat off of it. Eventually it blows. It stalls it for a little while, but it just builds up and builds up until you can't stand it anymore. So that might be the route for a day or two, but that's not the permanent route. So I told my wife, she says, why don't you take one of the pills that you got back there? And I said, well, my problem is that I have a spiritual belief. I believe fully in that spiritual belief. And if it doesn't work in these situations, why am I teaching it? And why am I acting like it works? I'm going to make this work. If it doesn't work now, then I'm done with it. So it took me about 2 days of meditating, of relaxing my mind, and tying into that peace. It wasn't instantaneous. It wasn't this blinding flash of white light, and oh, there you are, thank you for being there. It wasn't like that at all, because you have to sort through the mental things that you put up there. You put these mental blocks up there, these mental ideas that you fed into over and over, and you have to unwind those, and you have to stop feeding those and create that quiet in your mind for spirit to come in. That's your responsibility, is to agree to stop renewing that and having that emotional thought running through your mind. God meets you halfway. He doesn't do it all for you. So when I finally managed to quiet my mind and move into a meditative state, I began to feel a bit of a calm and peace. My heart rate was still up, but my mind was calm. And over the days, it began to get calmer and calmer until this morning, I realized the fact that if that guy blocks the road, it's more to my advantage than his. It's very simple. I have a tractor. I have the know-how to finish another entry into my property, and it's not that much of an inconvenience. And he's the one that has to provide the right-of-way for the guy behind me. And I've always had an attitude about that guy behind me because he speeds up and down the roads. I've got dogs and cats and horses that are sometimes out in that road, and I'm always afraid of him hitting one of them in the dark. So now this guy's going to have to give him a complete right-of-way across his property if he chooses to do that, which will benefit me greatly. So I'm very happy with that final thought. It took me 2 days to get there. It took me a day of being ticked off, of planning what I was going to do. I was going to tear up the gate if he put it up there. All kinds of, there was all kinds of plans running through my mind until I put the brakes on it and said, this just isn't the way to go. If that's his energy, that's how he chooses to deal with people in life, I'm not buying into it, and I'm not owning any of it. I stepped away from that lifestyle many years ago, and I'm not re-engaging in it. I am not. I'm going to follow my spiritual principles and see what's there for me. If you don't put that roadblocks up there of the emotionalized thoughts of what I'm going to do to stay even with this guy, Spirit can work with it. The spiritual energy can work with it far beyond anything that you can plan. There will be things that unfold unknown to you on your behalf with the Spirit working. Just stay out of the way of it is the key. don't block it with these angry thoughts and these thoughts of getting even, and oh yeah, you know, that's the biggest problem. And when I was sitting outside this morning, I believe very much in listening to signs from the universe around you, the physical universe. And many years ago, when I was very distressed, there were 5 lawyers in my life. I had 2 lawsuits lodged against me. I was in bankruptcy. There was like 5 lawyers in my life at one time. And I was so distressed about that. And finally, I just relaxed my mind, similar to what I did this past weekend. And this red-winged hawk just flew right at my window and back up over the top of the house. And from that point on, I realized that that was my power animal in this life. And that any time I've seen that, it works. I didn't take the first sign of it. I'm real stubborn about that. So I said, oh, that was interesting. You must have seen a reflection in the window. So I'm riding to work, and I'm riding down I-4 at 60 miles an hour, red-winged hawk. Right across the hill of the truck. I said, wow, that was cool. So I get into Deltona, and I'm riding down the road, and a bald eagle flies across the hood of the truck and lands on the shoulder by me. And I said, I guess that's really the message there. So, and it was true. Everything turned out fine with that situation. People were trying to get me arrested. They were trying to sue me. It was just a full-out assault on me for something that didn't really happen. So the point is take your time. Be responsible for the thoughts you put out there. You have to be responsible for your own thoughts, and you can unwind them, and that's your job in any stressful situation. Stop the thoughts. Just see a white light, see something kind in front of you. Stop the emotionalized thoughts and let Spirit have a chance to work, and you'll be more than happy with the results. And look for that sign in the outer universe. In the transformation of your life, there will always be something, someone in the physical realm that appears every time, right before the change occurs. So look for that. It's there. Thank you for listening. The next portion of the service is the healing portion. And I would like to have Ann and Judy take the healing stools. For those that are new here, the way this works is during the service, you'll hear a chime. That means that a healing chair has become vacant. Usually there's 3 chairs in the back, and I'd ask you to move to those first, and I'll guide you around the front, and the front ones become vacant. So, and AshKhen will lead us in a guided meditation during that time. We'll start the meditation with the prayer for spiritual healing, which is on the back of your hymnals. Those chairs are full. Just have a seat over there. Please read together with me the prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God.
Good morning. Can you all hear me back there? Get ready for the meditation. Find a comfortable position to sit. There is no tension on your physical body. Close your eyes and take in a few deep breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. With each breath, relax your body. Let your body settle down in a relaxed mode. go of the thoughts that are on your mind. If you have any worries, any concerns at this time, just let it go for now. Bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. Engage with the mechanism of your breath. Feel the motion of your breath. As it moves in and out while you breathe. Feel all the thoughts disappearing. And your mind settling to a very peaceful and quiet place. There are no chatters, no interruptions. Just feel your breath and follow it. Feel your breath taking you deeper within yourself to a very peaceful and quiet presence that is within your consciousness. Connect with this peaceful presence. While you breathe, repeat to yourself quietly, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. I am at peace within and with my surroundings. While you breathe and repeat, feel the peaceful sensations flowing throughout your body. As it flows, it nurtures, it nourishes your physical body. I am at peace within and with my surroundings. Embrace this peaceful state of your consciousness and be still. Be still within. For in this stillness, your mind is completely quiet. Embrace this stillness and just be. Be in this peaceful state of your consciousness. You are a multi-dimensional being. You are infinite being. Rise above your human limitations and step into the vastness of your spirit. As you step into the vastness of your spirit, you are able to tap into the vastness of your consciousness and find the hidden potentials that are within your spirit. Become aware of the spiritual aspect of yourself. As you acknowledge this presence, feel your spirit rising, shifting higher, higher above your head, connecting with your higher self, to the presence of God. Experience your consciousness in those higher realms, the higher dimensions of the universe. As you observe your surrounding, you feel the infinite power of creation. As you connect to this universal creation, feel God's infinite creativity and potentials unfolding, and in a form of crystal clear energy, clearing and cleansing your mental body, going through your thinking process, clearing the blockages that are limiting your spiritual potentials. See this crystal energy healing, clearing the thoughts, the beliefs that are interfering with your evolution. Release and let go of the beliefs that are limiting. Let go of the thoughts that are interfering. And allow God's creative energy to unfold through your thinking process. Allow God's creative energy to unfold. And know that you have the power to create your realities. Embrace this creative power and put it into action. While you are in the higher dimensions of your consciousness, acknowledge a situation, a problem, a conflict that you may have in your life that is challenging. See yourself in that situation. And set your intentions to transform for better. See yourself in action, doing. What is it that you would like to see? See yourself in that situation. Create that new situation. Create that change. Embrace this creative power that you have within. With God, all things are possible. Surrender to your higher consciousness and to the will of God. As you surrender, you feel a sense of relief. And you trust that all your needs are met. You have a choice to access your higher self. Rise above all and everything and embrace the highest perspective of your consciousness. Rise above all and everything to see the whole picture. Sustain this connection with your higher self. And as you start coming down to your physical body and to your physical reality, bring all these higher vibrations, the higher knowledge, the creative power with you and integrate it into your physical reality and let it unfold through your thinking, through your feelings, through your actions. With your surrounding. See this crystal energy anchoring to through your body down to your feet. Surrounding your entire body. See it expanding further out. Filling your aura with beautiful, crystal clear energy. Feel your peaceful breath and the quietness of your mind. This is your divine presence. You are light. Feel your breath slowly bringing you back to the here and now. Become aware of your physical senses.
Portion of a inspirational reading. I read out of this book every morning. You heard a little bit about my week, so it's kind of interesting what this reading was for today. If your heart is right, your world will be right. The beginning of all reform must be in yourself. It is not what happens to you, it's how you take it. However restricted your circumstances, however little you may be able to remedy financial affairs, you can always turn yourself inward and seeing something not in order there, seek to right it. And as all reform is from within outward, you will always find that the outward is improved as you improve yourself. Your outward circumstances will change for the better. The power released from within yourself will change your outward life. This portion of the service is an inspirational lecture. Today we have the honor of having Dr. Reverend Philip DeLong to speak today. I've known Phil since the very beginning when we first started. I remember seeing him sitting in classes, sorting through the different things, and it's been a wonderful walk to see him. It's always wonderful to see a student that transcends the teachings that he has. That's the purpose of teachings, is to get you to a point when you need to make it personal to yourself and begin that personal expression to the world around you. Step beyond the system. That's the mark of a true accomplished teacher. And I feel certain and safe saying that Phil's managed to do that over the years. I'm proud to see him grow, and I'll welcome him now, Dr. Reverend Philip DeLong.
Thank you for the introduction, Steve. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, who wants to be healthy?
Everybody? Right, so do I. Usually when we get sick physically, we go to the doctor and we get some remedy to get better. But we need to be healthy on a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual basis. My speech today is on trust and control. And my focus is on the seventh declaration of spiritualist principles, which states, we affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. Now, if we look at the 10 laws of spiritual right, and look at number 4, express truth in every word, thought, and deed, remembering always to keep harsh or hurtful truths to yourself when they would carelessly hurt the feelings of another. So when we look at being healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, there are a lot of thoughts that Steve referred to today that creates cords of attachment. And that we must look at our thought form and hopefully send out healthy thought forms and try to cut or release the unhealthy thought forms. Charles Ledbetter of the Theosophical Society states that man is a curiously complex being, and his evolution, past, present, and future, is a perennial study of interest for all who can see and understand. Through what toilsome eternities of gradual development, he has come to be what he is, to be what round in the long ladder of progress he has now attained. What possibilities of future progress the veil of the future conceals to us? These are the questions to which few can indifferent, questions which have been occurring all through the ages to everyone who has thought at all. What Ledbetter is saying, that spiritual progress is like climbing a ladder to the path of enlightenment and seeing what rung we are on along our soul progression. We are living in the now, in our third dimensional embodiment. Okay, we can all pinch ourselves and say, I'm here. And we attempt to follow that straight path or our ladder to the spiritual unfoldment. I would like to say our path is more like the river of our own life, which takes many twists and turns before reaching its final destination. We come into this life with a gasp of breath and with nothing, no clothes, no money, no material possessions. That innocence or truth we are born with is something I'd like you to contemplate on. Our truth is forever changed by the trust that we put in other persons to form or forge whom and what we are. Our trust starts with the families we are born into. Our parents clothe us, feed us, and indoctrinate us into their belief systems and values. They picked your religion, your schools, your associations, and sometimes your friends. Recall the joke or your reality. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Recall what I had stated earlier, that our truth is forever changed by the trust that we put in other persons. The United States tax codes defines a person as an individual or corporation.
And that corporations mean a lot of things. It means government, it means religion, and employers are a couple of examples, as not to mention our healthcare system. Look at the trust that we put in our school systems. What school did your parent pick for you? I went to a public school. And the public school that I went to has changed since a lot. I can remember saying the Pledge of Allegiance daily in elementary school and middle school. Same can be said about curriculum. When I was in 5th grade, we moved from an urban setting to a rustic rural setting. And the math that we were taught in 5th grade in the rural school was what I was taught in 3rd grade in the urban schools. And the teacher actually marked my answers down for using the new math techniques that I had learned in 3rd grade, because I wasn't doing it towards their control to get the right answer. The answer was correct. The method was not. Then I want to quote my buddy in New Zealand who will be listening to this, David Garwood. And he says that our school systems are designed to merge our trust into the economy and workforce. The bells for a start of a class teach us to start a workday or shift. Attendance records resemble time punches and so forth. Good grades equate to good performance, raises and promotions. And if you put your trust in your company, your boss will allow you to climb the corporate ladder. Keep in mind, we want to climb the spiritual ladder, as Ledbetter said. Amen. Religion puts a lot of trust instilled within you. Christianity baptizes you in water to cleanse you from original sin, inferring that you are a sinner and must be saved. Have you done your penance today? Guilt-written rules based on thou shalt and thou shalt not. Buddhism states that the path to enlightenment is that you must free yourself from suffering, inferring that you must suffer. Religion puts the trust on the congregation and the poor that in tithing you will receive tenfold what you give. And what if you don't have anything to give? There's a lot of almsgiving that can be done in this community. H.P. Blavatsky, the founder of the Theosophical Society in The Secret Doctrine, states, the human mind can hardly remain entirely free from bias, and decisive opinions are often formed before a thorough examination of a subject from all its aspects has been made. The point that I'm making is that by putting our trust in other persons, and we allow ourselves to be controlled, not only in our actions, but our thoughts. The Egyptian mystery schools teaches that trust is another word for control. Ponder on that for a moment. Look at our dollar bills. In God we trust. How does it sound? In God we control. And when we look at that, this thank you, Spirit, I guess I'll move off of that. We look at that when we put our trust in that economy, in the dollar, then we are losing our spiritual side of ourselves, which we should be concentrating on. And that is how we have become the people that we are, or the person that we are, controlled by other person's actions and value. It is only up to you and only you to find the truth. Trust and control are a fine balancing line, like a high wire act. It exists in all our relationships. A wife may trust her husband not to cheat on her, and she may put the control mechanisms in place to control his actions by choosing his friends and controlling where he goes. Does this sound familiar to some of you guys out here? How smart do you think a smartphone is?
Just remember, 3/4 of this congregation are women.
Okay, GPS, call records, all that information is available at your fingertips. And perhaps to a good lawyer, private eye, and the National Security Administration. We see things on television and in reality shows, and that in itself is a negative attachment. We look at our schools, we look at the values that are controlling our future, our religions are controlling our thoughts, the corporate structure is aligning us to become a slave or robot to their system, aiding the banksters and the elite. By trusting in others, we tend to grow attachments to the control we grow into. Attachments affect our physical, emotional, and mental bodies. And think about that. Along your river of life, each bend is an experience, a life lesson, a karmic thread along your soul path. Many energetic cords are attached based on our truths and beliefs or the control mechanisms that we put in place. Now, what is a cord of attachment? It kind of looks like this. They can be healthy or unhealthy. If I have a cord attachment of love, that is healthy. At least I hope so. So, when we follow our path, we must cut the cords that consist of releasing or cutting away energetic cords that connect you with someone else. You are energetically corded to anyone you have a relationship with, including family members, friends, co-workers, and acquaintances, that in some way, whether it is harmful or healthy. Cords of attachment is an energy structure between two persons. It causes patterns from the past to continue into the present. Cords distort thinking and feeling, moving a people around like marionettes or puppets. Do this. Okay. Energy flows back between you and another. However, a cord of attachment is not the flow of unconditional love. A cord of attachment, by definition, is negative and contributes to a unique set of difficulties to your energy system. Now, Steve, in his thought of the day, referred to our thought forms and what we send out. Are we sending out negative? Are we sending out positive? How many thought forms do you think you have? How many cords of attachment are there? Does it look like that? Very many. When you are corded in an unhealthy way to a person, meaning an individual or a corporation, these bonds can negatively impact all aspects of your life. For example, you may be influenced or controlled by a boss that you are negatively bonded to. You may easily feel manipulated, feel stuck, depressed, have low energy levels, or simply feel bad in the person's presence. Now, how many people have experienced this? Lots. I have experienced this situation, and it had, again, to do with the trust and control that I put in a person or a corporation. What was family was not. These are hard life lessons, and that karmic path. Once a toxic pattern is established in a cord of attachment, it will usually continue until the day you die. Cords to dead parents, lovers, are real until removal. They send their pull or tug of emotion regardless of whatever happens in the presence. Now there's a lot to say about the law of forgiveness, and that thought form goes far and through dimensions. What if, for example, you had a cord that attached to your father, and according to which he said, "You are never good enough." No matter how positive your attitude, you are unlikely to overcome this problem of feeling inferior. Not until the energy cord stops repeating within you. In this case, it is important to remove the cords to improve your emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. Cord attachments in the physical are based on our ego, wants, and desires. We need to release them in order to focus on the now. Relationships are hard to break, and we often have broken hearts. I remember the Yes song, it's owner of a lonely heart is much better than the owner of a broken heart. We often punish ourselves by saying, could I have done something different or treated this person better? Every time we put these thought forms into action, we reestablish that cord and take a step backwards. Release, release, release. And these attachments affect our emotions as well. And we hold on to what is not there anymore. If anything else, all we are doing is kicking ourselves in the rear and not focusing on the now, not focusing on the new and creating. Release, release, release. Cords affect our mental state as well. We often heard the term could've, should've, would've. A person can go mad sending these thought forms out, eating themselves away day by day. It's a vicious cycle. We each know a person like this. Everybody agree with that? They attract negativity, and those thought forms form attachments, not only to themselves, but to you. They hinder your soul progression and their soul progression. So it's release, release, release. You must learn to attune to the law of cycles and work in harmony with it. Thus in harmony with all life, and put balance in our lives. Attune to the rhythm and music of life and the universe. When we feel uncleared, tired, upset, or drained, an important healing tool to use is to sit in meditation using inner vision and scan one's body both front and back. Energetic cords can be sensed or seen by people who have the ability to do that. If you see or sense a cord attached to you from another, or a cord going out from you to someone or somebody else, you can imagine yourself cutting the cords and allowing the energy to return to where it belongs. So, you sit in meditation, you sense these cords, meditate, 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 cut, 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 release, release, release. We must trust and control our own destiny. In order to live healthfully, we need to have all our energy in our own space and in our own bodies. We do not need the energy of others to survive. We are all our own power generators. With our own life plan, life plans with our own resources and energy at our own disposal. All we need to do is to tune in to the divine source and allow it to flow into us. And all we are willing to do is receive it. There are many techniques and methods which show us how to open and receive this divine energy, which is the energy we breathe. And with each breath, it fills every cell of our beings, giving us that life. There are many natural laws. We must follow the 7th spiritual principle, the 4th spiritual law, and find our own happiness. It's our moral responsibility. The Creator never stops creating. The Lakota say that the medicine wheel teaches about change. It says that which is created will fall apart. That which is loose will be used to create anew. In other words, everything on earth is participating in a constant change that is being directed under the order of laws and principles originated by the Great Spirit or infinite intelligence. We humans are equipped with these natural change abilities. We have the ability to vision. We can use our imagination and imagery. We can change belief, attitudes, habits, and expectations. We have that creativity. We need to know ourselves, and we need to know how to work inside to enable us to work naturally. The law of attraction. We've all heard about that, correct? The law of attraction is the law of creativity. Everything that is coming into your life, you are attracting into your life. As above, so below. As within, so without. Create your life through your thoughts. Whatever you think about and think about, you bring about. Use the violet flame and transmute the woulda, shoulda, couldas into what if. We can do affirmations such as, I am so grateful for being a powerful creator of my reality, and I love and honor the guidance that is within me always. By following our river of life, we reach the ocean. The ancient Egyptians considered the universe a vast ocean, the earth being a droplet in the sea. Here in the now, we must affirm our responsibilities for our individual happiness, following the universe. Finding your truth is by not giving your power away.